a very beautiful, delicate necklace. And she called me over to look at it, and we both agreed it was very fine work. And we had said we're only window shopping. So we went. In fact, we were with another couple who were guests of ours, and we continued walking through this art store part of town. And I told my wife and the guests to go on without me, and I snuck back to the store, and I bought the necklace. And I thought, would my wife be upset? Here, I'm spending money we agreed we weren't going to. And I didn't think she would be upset. I did weigh that. I wasn't going to unilaterally do something. And we spent the next 3-4 hours traveling around with our friends. We came back home. Our friends said their goodbyes. I went up to the bedroom, and I put the box with the necklace on my wife's pillow. And I had a meeting that night, so I came downstairs. I left the house. I knew I wasn't even going to be there when she found it. And she found it, and she was thrilled. Do you do extra? Do you pamper? That's the second part of the Aseh Tov. Do you make clear to the other person, I really enjoy making you happy. I think about things that will make you happy. Now, in all the examples I've used, I've been the good guy and the nurturer. I need to make clear that the only reason I've done this is because I have learned to do it from my wife. Because my wife does this all the time for me. When Torah commands a man to marry, it doesn't command a woman to marry. There's a chiyuv. There's an obligation on a man to marry, even if he's already had children. Let's say he's older. There's no chiyuv for a woman. And I believe the reason is there are many wonderful things, particularly around nurturing, that a man learns from his wife. Okay. So much for the Aseh Tov part. We already know what the second part's going to be. If that was Aseh Tov, this is going to be Sur Me'ra. Avoid bad things. What is the worst thing, the worst threat to marriage? And we need to understand marriage is under threat. One simple example of it are just the statistics in the United States. 3, 4, 5 years ago, the Census Bureau reported that for the first time in the history of the census, the traditional family, man and woman raising children together, became a minority in the number of households in the United States. There's a second, more basic way in which marriage is under threat. We are taught in Torah that the more holy something is, the more it attracts the destructive attention of the dark forces, of the Sitra Achra. Of all of the things we do, probably the holiest thing that we do is to engage in marriage, in our relationship with our spouse, in making that mikdash ma'at, and raising our children. Of all of the things we do, that is the holiest. It follows that of all the things we do, the thing that is most going to attract the destructive strategies, the Eibusher soll helfen and hitten, the thing that will most attract Sitra Achra is our marriage. What does Torah teach us about how Yetzer Hara Sitra Achra works? It works by distorting our thoughts, by putting thoughts into our head that aren't true, either total lies or exaggerations. And the single emotion that is most destructive to marriage is anger. This is certainly made clear in Torah. If you were to read Maimonides' psychology book, Hilchos Deos, you will see that more than any other emotion, he gives attention to the issue of anger. The Gemara says that anger in a marriage is like having a parasite in a wheat silo. You leave the parasite there while the wheat is being stored. Some months later you open up the silo and all you have left is dust. Now Torah is very protective of us. Torah says if you are feeling angry, there are a couple of things you need to do. One is you need not to speak. Two, you need not to take action. Don't speak and don't take action while you are in a state of anger. Wait until you get yourself calmed down. Understand it's your responsibility to process your anger. Now, what does that mean, to process your anger? Anger has two parts to it. I am hurt and you are bad. You made it happen. It's your fault. I didn't do nothing. Yetzer Hara will get us to perceive the situation, to misperceive the situation in a way that blames the other person, does not cut the other person any slack, is not, in Torah language, dan lekav zchus. If they did it, there must have been some reason why they did it. The Yetzer Hara says, I know the reason. The reason is they don't care about you. They don't love you. They're selfish. They figure you're a weakling. They can take advantage of you. Stand up for yourself. This is just like when you were a kid and people took advantage of you. And you know what? She's treating you just like her mother makes a shmata out of her father, or just like his mother or his father makes a slave out of his mother. All this stuff is going on inside. What do? One is you need to understand your mind is under attack. When you get angry, your mind is under attack. Now, sometimes it's a good thing. Because it's like getting drunk. The Talmud compares anger to drunkenness in many places. Why is it like getting drunk? First of all, it makes you feel powerful. It gets rid of fear. It's pain. Someone is hurt and there's no medical painkiller available, so you'll give him mashka to drink. It will dull the pain. The reason that it dulls pain and dulls fear is that it makes a person stupid. The brain is chemically